Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and other people. Um, this video is going to be about my idea for fixing Star Wars. Like, the IP is totally messed up. We're not even going to go into this. We're just like, you're planning on doing another Space Wizards trilogy or something? Like, come on, guys. Like, you should learn from stuff. People want to see more ships and less Space Wizards and stuff. Anyways. Uh, so I was doing my own stuff, but I was making a movie or a video for another sample IP that I'm going to be building, um, set in the Fornax cluster. But anyways, I got sidetracked and apparently I alt tabbed onto like, I don't know, thesaurus.com or something, and it showed advertisements and the video stopped recording. So like, I got to redo all this. I'll just redo it as a where is it? Star Wars Resurgence. All right, so we're going to go into fixing Star Wars IP. Let's get a title screen. Anyways, we'll do that after here. I got to start over all the way. Right. All right. So this was a side project for me. It took me about 3 hours to figure out. So, and it totally sorts out the entire Star Wars intellectual property. And it's going to be set. Okay, so a new project, one based on Star Wars: The Rebellion PC game for the scope and the scale and the ship lists, and the sequels. Ick, I know, but like faithful to the original trilogy in spirit. We're going to set it in the New Republic after the events of the sequels. There's no Palpatine returns shit. No space wizards. They exist, but they're supposed to be extremely fucking rare. I don't want to see 9 movies off of fucking whatever pops out of Daisy Ridley's gooch. You're gonna fucking keep the Star Wars star fucking trig, like fucking fuck off and give me some ships. And follow a sector still dealing with Imperial remnants, warlords and stuff. Small Imperial enclaves and also fighting each other. And massive, massive scale. Galactic wide scale. So like you guys have the fucking stuff. Like the people look, it's not showing my taskbar. It was just showing my taskbar. Like you the people writing your stuff, ignoring decades of established canon for the fans and all of your intellectual property stuff to rehash what? You're going to show me another iteration of A New Hope? Like The Force Awakens was such a disappointment, man. Anyways, the whole the sequels were just such a disappointment. Like, fuck. You've got Star Wars Rebellion, man. Like, there's your galaxy setup. Like right there. Like, I'm not gonna do it. I got the pictures in here. All right, so it locks the era post sequels. Palpatine is dead. There's no secret clone vats, no final order nonsense. Galaxy is exhausted. The Empire is gone as a state. The First Order is shattered as a movement. What remains is inertia, wreckage, and men with guns and ships. The New Republic is not the the original trilogy fairy tale Republic. I think they're more decentralized, overextended, politically allergic to central militarization. They exist, they patrol, they arbitrate, but they cannot be everywhere. They will not re-empire themselves for safety. They rely heavily on sector defense forces, treaties, and contractors. The New Republic is galactic in scope, but local in practice, because that's what it would be. It would be a republic, a res publica. It would be different states acting in a coalition, and they would be local, but galactic at the same time. Imperial remnants. There's multiple. Like if an empire shatters, you can let any empire that shatters fractures. into different remnants, different warlords. Like when Russia falls, Russia's going to break up into like 12 different fucking warlords. There's no single imperial remnant. They're warlord states, fortress enclaves, mobile fleet kingdoms, corporate imperial hybrids, ideological splinters who fucking hate each other. Some still believe in the emperor. Some still believe in order. Some still believe in themselves. But they all fight the New Republic and each other. Force users are rare, uneven, dangerous. No Jedi Order spanning the galaxy. No synth empires. Force users are isolated, mythologized, and they're often wrong about what they think they are. Most people will never see one. This keeps the scale grounded, politics relevant, fleets as the real power. Fleets. Come on, guys. This is where rebellion scale. Okay, so the reason that I locked Rebellion PC into this discussion is because it shows the scale. We're not dealing with a sector with 6 planets. Like, I'm sorry, when was it in the sequels there where they destroy 8 planets at once? Like, and that's the entire fucking New Republic? Like, what? Like, what's the IQ of your writer's room? Like, you might throw 30 people in together, you might get 20 fucking IQ points out of all 30 of them. They're retarded. You're doing sectors, subsectors, hundreds of systems, thousands of inhabited world. Very important tonal rule. Nothing is small just because it's off screen. A minor warlord might still command 3 to 5 star destroyers, dozens of escorts, millions of subjects. That's not a boss fight. That's a fucking regional problem. Ship philosophy. Yeah, well, we're going into some other stuff here. And see, this is what I said. Like right from my Star Wars, one of my Star Wars games. Okay, so like the Dalamar sector. There's the Dalamar sector. You can check it in the game. And on my first fleet, like that's going to be an example of. I use that as an example of the first fleet. The Defiance and the Dignity are Mon Calamari cruisers, and they would be finished. Like that's just an example of a fleet composition. Not to say that I want that as the actual fleet. Anyways. Dalamar sector is canonically multi-system, multi-world, not a small sandbox. And the Dalamar sector that we're going to have, obviously, in the IP is going to contain many more worlds. The Dalamar sector in the Star Wars Rebellion PC game, was constrained due to the years that it was released in, and the level of technological ability we had in our video games and computers. We've surpassed that. We really should be having a new game set like that. Anyway, it's the best Star Wars game ever made. All right, but the Orin. Okay, so Orin Well, the admiral that we're going to be talking about, he'll have been in a subsector or in another sector. Sorry, a far more rim sector, looking for rebels when the empire fell. He would have stayed in that subsector or in that far sector, the outer rim sector. He would have stayed there because it was easy to survive. He returns to the Dalamar sector to exert power and establish imperial dominance again. And we're getting to okay, so we're this far into it. We haven't really explained what is going on. The entire thesis behind Star Wars Resurgence is what if an Alexander the Great personality type was raised in one of the imperial remnants and has now and an older admiral that was an admiral at the Battle of Yavin, and we're setting this in approximately 38 years past the Battle of Yavin. So the admiral in question is going to be a Phillip of Macedon type of character to a younger Alexander the Great type of character. And that's going to be far more interesting than rehashing Space Wizards and fucking Palpatine's fucking lineage or Skywalkers or any of the rest of that shit. The Imperial Remnant, the Admiral Orenwell. I think I named him here. Yeah, Admiral Orenwell. This is the counter to the forward fleet, more in the sector. Now, his ISD is called the Emperor's Will. The Emperor's Will has survived 38 years past the Battle of Yavin. It's old, it's still operational, and he's got a couple of escort ships. So we're changing some things here, like already from what like this is how you iterate things with AI and stuff, and like I already know what the fuck I want to build. Anyways, I'm just using AI to do it faster. So it's got horrible names. Like he comes up with, anyways. I'm gonna come up with better names for them. All right. Yeah, and like yeah, they're all out and out enemies. Shoot on sight. So all of the Imperial remnants hate each other, and they hate the New Republic, and all the rest of that. All right, so this was a picture of a standard Imperial Star Destroyer. So at the start of the setting, Admiral Orenwell is still going to be commanding an Imperial Star Destroyer. He's going to be commanding the Emperor's Will. And the Emperor's will have survived operational 38 years past the Battle of Yavin. Ergo, it's going to be rusty, damaged, pockmarked, functional, but like I mean, it's going to have armor patches like this, and like holes. Like that's a breach, and like, but they're going to be able. It's going to be contained. It's just going to be there. But the Emperor's Will has survived 38 years after the Battle of Yavin. Now we've got a couple of victories. One victory, one of his escorts, is going to be a Victory class Star Destroyer, Victory 2 Star Destroyer. And it's the same thing. It's survived 38 years past the Battle of Yavin. It's going to be rusty. It's going to be pockmarked. It's going to have armor plating, it's going to have armor slapped onto it just to fucking have survived this long. And then the third one, like I mean, this thing is still going to be operational. It's got hole breaches, and it's got containment for that, and it's rusty as all hell, and like this thing is still dangerous. It's a Victory 2 Star Destroyer. You can launch, and I mean, like if surviving 38 years past the Battle of Yavin, they're going to be launching TIE fighters from breaches in the hull and stuff. Like they're going to be survivors. They're not going to be like, anyways. They suck at giving names. So what did I call it? Okay, ISD Emperor's Will, VSD2 Iron Verdict, and the VS2 Censure. And these two have got specific, like VSD 41302, VSD 41287. They're close because they've always been together. They've always been part of Admiral Wells' fleet composition. He's lost other Star Destroyers and stuff. We have a whole backstory to him, but that's what the here with all and the end all, the be all, and the. Anyways, we'll get to it later. Shit. All right, so Orenwell active. So we're getting a document on how many worlds does this remnant hold? How many do they acquire? How many of the picket ships does Oren still have in total? So we're getting a better. At this point, we keep reiterating Orenwell, the Phillip of Macedon character. At this stage, he's going to be somewhere between. At the start of the IP, he's going to be somewhere between 68 to 72 standard years. Commissioned during the late Clone Wars, early Imperial transition. Flag officer well before Endor. Old enough to command respect from Imperial veterans, but young enough to still actively command from a bridge. Well is not a relic claiming their memory. He's a survivor who planned for failure. Service record during the Imperial era. Pre-Endor, career naval officer, not political. He's the guy that you go to send out in the middle of space to go sort shit out because The spider monkeys of humanity are screwing things up again. All right. Specialized in sector patrol doctrine, convoy interdiction, anti-insurgency fleet action served beyond core territories in the outer rimward regions. Minimal contact with court politics, inquisitors, Sith-adjacent command structures. He will not like any or any of them. He was not present at the Battle of Endor. He was operating in a distant rim sector at the time. Learned of the Emperor's death via fragmented command traffic. He did not attempt immediate return to the core. He knew what was going on. He did not witness the myth collapse firsthand. He experienced as a command silence. Post Endor, he did not declare himself an emperor. He did not crown a pretender. He did not join any centralized remnant. Instead, he consolidated his assigned task force, secured mobile logistics, withdrew deliberately, and waited. He survived the warlord area, the First Order's rise, the First Order's fall, which tells you everything about his instincts. Arrival in the Dalamar sector. He comes after the sequels, not before the sequels. Why the Dalamar sector? Because it's fragmented authority, existing imperial infrastructure that still exists, strategic hyperlane relevance, strong enough to matter, weak enough to fracture. He will not conquer it either. Like right off the bat, it'll be the younger guy. So, anyways, we're going into this. You really want me to fix this? Like Dave Filoni, give me a 7-figure contract and I'll fucking fix Star Wars for you, man. Make it even higher and I'll look like a Jedi. Okay, his character arc is to place a young man as a successor to Palpatine in the galaxy. Think Phillip to Alexander. The young man will be an Alexander type of character. The New Republic's nightmare manifest. All right, so we built the Admiral, Orenwell. We've got his ships. Orenwell does not want to rule a galaxy. He wants to hand it to someone competent who can. Not a mystic, not a bureaucrat, not a committee, a conqueror with legitimacy. The successor concept, Philip to Alexander model. Well sees himself as Philip II of Macedon, except it's not, it's a different fucking thing. Anyways, it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. It's the archetype. The young man is Alexander. The young man, intentional anyways. Let's keep going because it's not listening to me. Profile the successor. He's the anti-Luke. He's not some podunk. He's literally the anti-Luke. He's not some podunk moisture farmer from Tatooine that is a space wizard, is descended from space wizards and is a space wizard himself. And like, no, man, like this guy's going to be the fucking anti-Luke. He grew up in wealth and privilege in one of the imperial revenants and was afforded all opportunities. He was expected to join the Imperial Academy, and he did, scoring the top of his class. He can fly a TIE fighter and has served the planetary defense forces while in the Cadet Corps. He has a natural spatial awareness as a deadly pilot. He has wanted to command the bridge of a Star Destroyer his whole life. He's 24 at the moment, and that's negotiable because I have a specific person in mind for this character. Here's a character profile, not a prophecy. So we're starting with the iterations of that, and we can go into it a little bit later because it's not done. I do like the Space Wizard stuff, post Jedi, post Sith. So the post Jedi. So let me iterate it. Call the custodians. So the custodians are are the remnants of the Jedi. They're the custodians of the Force. They're the custodians of the ancient ways. Like they are Jedi successors, not or no, they're Jedi. They're post Jedi waiting for a successor order to take over. That's why they're the custodians. All right, you got a couple of guys made up there, a couple of people, a couple of girls too. All right, and the inheritor of the like a post Sith archetype. So Val Koresh does not call himself the Sith. He does not care about Palpatine. He does not believe in destiny. He believes in dominance through clarity. Power unused is weakness, power shared is instability. Where the Sith sought rule, Koresh seeks control. And that guy probably have to rename him because it's probably reusing some fucking asset. That's anyways. We'll get back to he's not important really. So we set the year as 8 years after the Battle of Yavin. Oren Well checks out as a character at 70 years old, 70 to 72. Political state at 38. The new republic exists, large, fractured, tired of war, actively demobilizing where possible. So, Jedi Order functionally gone, custodians are scattered and ideologically split, inheritors are the Sith, like the custodians are the custodians like the of the Jedi. The Sith call themselves, or the Dark Force users call themselves inheritors now. And then it goes fucking Cassian. Like the fucking naming in this shit is it reuses 12 fucking names, man. Like ChatGTP's got 12 fucking names for every character and every fucking organization. All right, so what did we call them? Val and Crix, 24 standard years, active Imperial officer of an Imperial remnant. His current rank is lieutenant. But he's already being flagged because it's like he'd be right at the top of Oren Wells' list of cadets to watch, the upcoming officers to watch. Valen Crix has never questioned authority; he's only questioned who deserves it. He's not driven by lost prophecy or rebellion. He's driven by clarity, order, and inevitability. Like Alexander the Great. Origin and upbringing: he was born at 14 after the Battle of Yavin. He was born in wealth, stability, and privilege. He was born into the world where the empire was gone, but its systems still functioned quietly, and its values still shaped power behind the scenes. His family retained wealth after the collapse, maintained military and industrial connections, and expected service as a matter of course. From Valen's childhood, officers were familiar figures, discipline was normal, command was aspirational. Valen did not grow up dreaming of escape. He grew up assuming responsibility. He was educated in an Imperial Academy that still exists, graduated top of the class, highest scores in fleet command system simulations, spatial tactics, and astrogation under stress. Is adequate but unremarkable in ideological indoctrination and political theory. He absorbed doctrine efficiently but never emotionally. Crix does not believe in slogans; he believes in outcomes. And he's a TIE fighter pilot. Like that was his in for the academy. He's a natural pilot but not a showman. He's got exceptional three-dimensional spatial awareness, but not fucking space wizard shit. Like it's just really good pilot stuff, man. Predictive positioning, conservative aggression, minimal wasted motion. He flies like he already knows where the battle will end. But he does not identify as a pilot. Piloting is a tool for him, not an identity. He wants to command a Star Destroyer. He does not want to command a TIE fighter. While still a cadet, Valen served in the Planetary Defense Forces for whatever world his academy was on. We can still make that stuff up. Lifelong ambition has always been to command a Star Destroyer. Not political power, not mysticism, not celebrity. He wants the fucking bridge. All right. Psychological profile. All right. We can go into that later. Relationship. He does not consign himself through the Force. He's not Force sensitive. Oren Well sees Valen as a culmination of decades of preparation. This isn't about space wizard shit or decades or Deus Ex Machina. This is about real people doing real work and preparing things for fucking decades and surviving collapse of authority, of systems, of governance, everything. And they still survive. They still prepare. And they still create an Alexander the Great that scares the fuck out of the Republic. All right. So now the real nightmare. Time has moved on. People make new designs. While the old men are still fighting over decades old grievances, the kids are building the next generation shit. This is a whole thesis, not only about Philip and Alexander and like this, a lot of this Star Trek or Star Wars Star Trek. Ooh. Yeah, I got an IP for Star Trek too. Anyways, um, the whole thesis behind Star Wars Resurgence is older generations and new generations, and old men are still fighting, still commanding and fighting over old rusty shit, and the kids are creating. Welcome to the new or a Phoenix class Star Destroyer. This is going to be the bridge. This is going to be the Star Destroyer that our Alexander the Great character commands. It's going to scare everyone. It's going to scare the Imperial remnants. It's going to scare the New Republic. It's going to scare everything because this looks like a something like the old men are fighting over old trilogy stuff, and the kids are developing their own version of that. Old men are still arguing over Endor, refighting legitimacy debates, preserving hulls that remember Palpatine, bleeding each other with symbols and grudges. Meanwhile, the kids are designing ships for the galaxy that actually fucking exists, throwing away ornamental doctrine, building for efficiency, survivability, and sensor dominance, treating the Empire Rebellion as war as a history class, and it's not scripture. Phoenix class Star Destroyer is terrifying because we learned from all of you. It's not louder, it's not bigger for the sake of it. It's colder, smarter, and built by people who grew up after the myths failed. To the New Republic, that realization lands late. They're watching warlords and relic fleets. They're running playbooks written for ISDs and MC-80s. They're measuring threats by tonnage and banners. Then something like the Phoenix Star Destroyer appears and breaks the model. It's not a revival. It's not a restoration. It's an evolution. And Valen Crix fits that perfect. He does not want to, or he does not inherit the Empire. He outgrows the Empire. Well is Phillip building roads and armies. Crix is Alexander crossing into a world that doesn't know it's already lost. But even the kids are fighting over old shit because everybody fights over old shit. Why are you fighting over old shit, man? Just differently. They don't argue about Palpatine, they argue about what worked. They don't care about banners, they care about lessons. You get this old men fight over legitimacy. Who was the real empire? Who betrayed whom? Young commanders fight over interpretation. The centralization of the empire failed. No, over centralization failed. Fear was not the problem. Stagnation was the problem. They're talking about the same war, but they're drawing new abstractions from it. The Phoenix Star Destroyer are proof of that. It's still triangular, it's still hierarchical, it's still authoritarian in form, but it's stripped of nostalgia, ornament, and myth. It's not remember the Empire, it's debug the Empire. And Valen Crix embodies that perfectly. He does not hate the past, he does not worship it. He treats it like a data set, which is why the conflict doesn't end with generations, it mutates. The galaxy will never escape its old ghosts. Old shit is always going to influence new shit. But just like from every generation to generation, like they're not carbon copies. The apple might fall far from the or not fall far from the tree, but it still is different. There's no clean breaks. There's no moral reset. There's just inheritance, pressure, and choice. And I asked it what it thought the overall plot, but then we're going different. Anyways, so we just fixed everything wrong with Star Wars. As a 3 hour. It took me 3 hours to fucking fix that shit, man. And it's not a fan rewrite. It's accidentally was identified why Star Wars kept breaking, and the design around those failure points instead of patching them. I removed sacred history. Every story has to orbit the same fucking 30 years. Every conflict has to echo the same beats. Every villain has to be Palpatine shit. Like, that's why you're going into the shitter, man. History is data, not scripture. Power competent. The franchise's biggest sin wasn't morality, it was stupidity. Empires that build planet killers instead of logistics, centralizing everything around one fucking space wizard. Ignored obvious failure modes. Stopped using the Force as a crutch. Like, anyways, this is a side project, but I'm going to pitch this video to Star Wars. I don't know. I'm not making a formal pitch or anything. I'll just, like, link the video to it. Fucking Dave Filoni doesn't want to fucking bite, then I really don't give a shit. I'm working on my own stuff. And if you do want to bite, have a fucking contract with 7 fucking figures on it. Maybe multiple 7 figures, and I'll actually play a Jedi. Show you what I look like. A sec here. There, that's what I look like. Where? All right, because I still want to talk about Valen Crix here. All right, the official set after the fall of the First Order, Star Wars Resurgence explores the galaxy struggling to move on, only to discover that the next threat isn't the past returning, but it's the future arriving faster than anyone expected. Valen Crix. Our central antagonist is a young Imperial officer who represents a post-myth generation, someone who didn't live through the old wars but studied them. Key phrases Disney likes: charismatic, strategic, morally complex, believes order is kinder than chaos. I don't know. Hopefully, fucking somebody from Disney fucking sees this shit. Anyways, because whatever. Is it even worth a fucking formal? I've already pitched ideas to you guys, and I've never had a fucking anything back. So, like, it's not worth me spending my time to actually write 100,000 word pitch deck. I'll just do a half-hour video, and if you don't fucking like it, I don't fucking care. I've got my own stuff. I'm working on my other IP. Anyways, where was I? Fuck. Anyways, back to where is it? Star Wars Resurgence. So, where are we now? Oh, season 1 pitch. All right, series pitch for Disney. All right, so season 1 pitch, clean and approvable. Season 1 aftermath. The New Republic maintains stability through sector fleets. Imperial remnants fight amongst themselves. A veteran Imperial admiral holds a dangerous but contained territory. Republic intelligence believe the situation is static. What actually happens? A new generation of Imperial aligned officers emerges. New ship designs appear. Old assumptions quietly stop working. Season 1 ends with the first appearance of a next generation capital ship, the Phoenix Star Destroyer. The Republic realization: this isn't a remnant problem anymore. It's going to be the oh shit moment. There's no Emperor, there's no Sith reveal, no galaxy ending weapon, just oh shit. The villain. How do I sell Valen Crix here? We're not going to call him a villain. Our central antagonist is a young Imperial officer who represents a post-myth generation, someone who didn't live through the old wars but studied them. How do we avoid the Jedi panic? Force users still exist, but the Jedi Order is gone. What's left are individuals, guardians, wanderers, dangerous actors, without consensus or authority. They are called custodians. Why this fits Disney right now? Audience have grown up with Star Wars. They want stories that respect intelligence and or prove that there's appetite for political depth. This series expands that sandbox instead of shrinking it. Resurgence doesn't undo anything, it moves it forward. Resurgence is a post-sequel Star Wars series set about what happens when the galaxy finally stops fighting the last war and realizes the next one is being designed by people who learned from its every mistake. It's not about resurrecting the Empire, it's about the danger of improving it. And then I'll go into the thing. And this is who I have in mind as Valen Cricks. We're going to get you some money there, Timothy. You'd be a perfect Alexander in a Star Wars setting. And I guess that's pretty much about it. Valen Cricks is written for a performer who can project intelligence, restraint, and inevitability at a young age. Someone whose authority feels earned before it's spoken. All right. So that's pretty much the video. Dave Filoni. Yeah, let's make this happen. Let's make this real. Actually, I have a little bit of fun with it. Generate a title screen. Just the word Star Wars. Bingo. Let's fucking have a little bit of fun. Violates our content policies. Eat a bag of donkeys. Assholes, man. Anyways, fuck off. Fuck off. Anyways, yeah, Dave, if you want me to work on your project, I have a contract with some seven fingers there. I'll sort out your shit. Anyways, thanks you, ladies and gentlemen. This is James Strohan signing off. May the force be with you.